Okay, so I wanted to talk today about the Michael B. Jordan controversy with him, and I believe it's that interviewer. I think she goes by the name L'Oreal, and just kind of dive into that whole scenario because let's keep it real. If you are anywhere in like your mid 20s, maybe even early 20s, honestly, I don't even know if in schools like how it is, the dynamics with being into anime and stuff like that, like it was back in the day, because I know that anime is definitely at a point where it's more sociably acceptable, but there's still challenges. I know from my niece and nephew, they tell me that, yeah, it's come a long way. Or not that it's come a long way, but that, some people, they be outward with it, but it's still not like everybody screaming, oh my God, Naruto, whatever the case may be. But that, people rock with it. But especially back in the days, I remember like being into Dragon Ball Z, right? Or being into Yu-Gi-Oh and stuff like that. I think being into Yu-Gi-Oh or Pokemon, it was like levels, right? Like Pokemon, people were like, because that was the most popular one. It was like, oh, you're into those Pokemans? So you definitely got made fun of for Pokemon without a shadow of a doubt. Even though everybody was buying those games, sales show that everybody loved, Pokemon Yellow, Red, and Blue, and so on and so forth. So everybody was playing it, but it was the one that was like, oh, you a kid, bro. What are you doing? You stop acting like a kid. Then Yu-Gi-Oh with the Yu-Gi-Oh cards, it wasn't that much of a bigger step up from it, but Yu-Gi-Oh was another one. It's like, oh, you a kid, with the Yu-Gi-Oh cards. What are you doing? Even though again, sales show that it was a massive thing. And then you had like Dragon Ball Z, where it was still, nerds thing. At the end of the day, anime is anime. You know what I'm saying? And when people are gonna call you corny or whatever the case may be, they're gonna do it regardless of whatever the series is. But in case you don't know, so let me fill you in real quickly. Michael B. Jordan and this announcer L'Oreal, basically, she was interviewing Michael B. Jordan on the set, or not on the set, on the red carpet for the upcoming Creed movie. I think it might be out. I'm not sure if it's out or not. But essentially, Michael B. Jordan remembered her from back in the day in school and said that she had called him corny and kind of felt like she had bullied him. And it's kind of been a thing, and I guess it's a interesting thing to think about of like, wow, we're at a point where big celebrity is talking about anime in the midst of a press release and talking about how he was bullied for being an anime fan. Here's the thing, right? Because when I was in school and being an anime fan and stuff like that, there were definitely some points where, yeah, there was like, I don't want to say bullied. Me personally, I was never really bullied like that at school. But there was points where, yeah, people would look at you like you're corny, you're a child, what are you doing, and stuff like that. But here's the thing that we, as, in particular, I'm going to speak as a dude that was an anime fan back in school and whatnot. We also used to, and even when I got older to a certain degree for a bit now, we used to walk around like we had a chip on our shoulder, almost as if we was better than people. It was like, I don't know if you would say reverse bullying. I don't know if we would say it was a defense mechanism, but because we had that thing of like, people are looking at us like we're corny, people are looking at us like we're nerds. So then we would almost reverse that level of animosity, so to speak, that we would have for like, damn, you think I'm a nerd? Bet I'm better than you because I like this stuff. And we will walk around like, let's keep it real. I know people are like, oh no, that you know damn well that it was almost like a badge of honor of like, I'm better than you because I like my cartoons. Fuck out of here. You know what I'm saying? We had that mentality of like, we're better because we like anime. We're better because we understand these deep and complex stories and whatnot. And I think we're missing the point that don't make us any less of, how can I say, offensive than the people that were calling you corny. So like with this Michael B. Jordan situation that is like, he clapped back at, somebody that bullied him back in school or whatever. But Michael B. Jordan was probably walking around with the same mindset of, I'm better than you because I like Naruto. I'm better than you because I watch and I understand these complex stories. So how did that make him, or any nerd, anime, and manga fan, better than the person that was calling them corny or quote unquote bullying them? Which, to be honest, in retrospect, even though I felt like, is some form of, is that really bullying when at the end of the day you're walking around strutting your stuff, thinking you're better than somebody because of X, Y, and Z. And then they're going to respond with, it's a vicious cycle. That saying, an eye for an eye, it ain't no good because everybody ends up blind and stuff like that, right? So if Michael B. Jordan's strutting his stuff like I'm better than you because I like anime, and this girl L'Oreal is looking at him like, yo, you corny, and it's not even necessarily because of the anime stuff, but it's because of the way you walking around and thinking you're better than people, then who's really in the wrong? Who's really corny there? Is there a level of corny? Like, there's so many more conversations that can come from this, because this is an old, and I would even throw the argument entire thing of, yo, yeah, we got maybe a little bit of shit for the cartoons and stuff that we liked in school. We also forget to take to account that the same stuff that came to us of like, yo, you corny, you a nerd, people laughing, it also made you stronger. So let's not forget some of the positive stuff, even if it's inadvertently, that comes from those times that we were bullied, so to speak, for anime and manga, or just, into whatever we was into at the time, cartoons and whatnot. See, even the dogs agree with me. Who let the dogs out? Woo, 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 woo. No. But, I just find it fascinating that, like, there's so many levels to it. And then this girl, L'Oreal, she's getting a whole lot of crap because of what she did. And I can see the other side of it. People looking at like, yo, Michael B. Jordan clapped back finally. He got back at his tormentor. Although I think that's beyond a stretch, because from my understanding, they went to school for like a year. And, she said X, Y, and Z. And why is it that, here's the thing, why is it that on the flip side of it, right? That saying that is very popular since you're younger, you may have heard it, if he bothers you, if he picks on you, it's just because he likes you. You know what I'm saying? You know that, right? You grew up hearing that, like, yo, if he bothers you, it means he likes you. Why isn't it the same in reverse with a situation like this? Maybe if she did call him corny, or acted like he was corny, or treated him like he was corny, you ever thought maybe she liked him and also was taught based on society's structure that that's the way you get attention, especially when you're younger? Like, I understand that, and I'm not sure how old they were when they were, I'd imagine, I think they were already like 17, 18, 19-ish. Again, I don't know if this was high school or college or whatever, that they went to school, but people still carry that mentality to this day. There's only certain people that are now starting to break out of that whole mindset of, yo, being mean to somebody means you like them and stuff like that. But for the longest time, that was normalized, except the perception of it on the flip side of the coin, when a girl does it, is like, no, she was just being a bee. No, she was just being, you know what I'm saying? It's not that. Maybe she just liked him and that was her way, you know what I'm saying? And again, that's not by no means how you should approach things, how you should act, but that was probably the case. And that's okay, you know what I'm saying? Because she might have not even known any better. Right now, she probably don't even understand, to be honest with you, why she did that. I mean, at the end of the day, she tried during the interview to flip it up and basically give him in other subtle ways of, like, she finds him attractive. She was talking about, hey, is he the most attractive man alive, and comparing him with another dude and stuff like that. But I think it's a little bit unfair of everybody that's attacking her, calling her all sorts of disgusting names, threatening to harm her and stuff like that, over, she called him corny. He decided to try and embarrass her at a red carpet premiere over something like that, which I don't know if that was necessarily necessary to do. But, and I don't even want to say it is what it is, because it's just all around a kind of crummy situation. And that whole word of corny, what is really corny? And better yet, why is being corny a bad thing? Like, that's something to note. Like, yo, right now, if I, hold on, oh, yo, I'm outside, oh, yeah, that's corny, right? Am I in pain? If somebody laughed at me right now, you think I'm gonna care? Maybe. But am I gonna die from being corny, from being laughed at for being corny? What is corny other than somebody being themselves and somebody else's perception of, like, that's not acceptable because I wasn't taught that I can be myself? There's another variable there. Corny is basically just like anything else, pretty much a perception. At the end of the day, if there's 10 people in a room and 9 of those people think that name brand clothing is corny, and one person loves name brand clothing, one person, they want to wear the Louis Vuitton, the Gucci and all that stuff, but the other 9 people think that's corny, guess what? That's corny. flat out. But because society promotes it and makes it seem like it's more grandiose than it is, then everybody falls into the illusion that name brand clothing is cool, name brand clothing is not corny. But again, in that other room with the 10 people, with the 9 people saying it's corny, it's corny. So we're looking at things, and at the end of the day, I think it's just all around the situation itself is corny, because it's like, why is it that we're having this type of interaction when this could be a teachable moment? And I hope that Michael B. Jordan and L'Oreal get to sit down and make amends. Or not make amends, but get to sit down and maybe have a conversation to show people that, like, yo, let go of what happened in school. Let go of some of that stuff that, I'm saying, not, maybe let go is the wrong word. How about heal? Yeah, that's a better one. Not let go, heal from those bad things that may have happened when you was in school, when those people bullied you, when those people treated you like, again, you were corny. Heal from the fact that that was just something of their perception, and being corny, if it meant being yourself, then we corny. If being corny is me dancing and not caring what people say because I ain't the best with the rhythm, I'm corny. If liking these cartoons that people think is corny and think it's funny and laugh at you like, oh, kids are supposed to watch it because we were indoctrinated because Hollywood didn't want to compete against animation, we corny. If collecting cards that is a fun thing for me when I'm younger and you think that that's corny, we're corny. And that's okay. It just is. And I wanted to touch up on this because I feel like it's a very interesting conversation and a teachable moment. Again, I really hope that at some point, whether it be following the press release, because obviously Michael B. Jordan, he's going to be out for a bit promoting this movie, but at the same time, I think he could promote a big positive message in general for nerd culture, people that felt like they were bullied in school and whatnot. Is like, okay, I feel like it was probably a mistake for Michael B. Jordan to even bring up that at that interview. But considering it was done, maybe it could be a good mistake and not necessarily even a mistake if he would use that opportunity to be like, yo, so this was the wrong way to approach it. That was corny to even do that. Let's heal from it, because I don't like that girl is getting bullied. I don't like that girl is getting, all sorts of shit slung her way. And I guess to a certain degree, same token, it was a bit of accountability on her side of things. At the end of the day, if she did do those things, maybe there's a little bit of accountability that she wasn't holding herself to. But regardless of what, still the way he approached it, I felt like was very wrong. You're Michael B. Jordan. She's an interviewer. Yeah, some shit happened in the past. Your perception as well is kind of like, dog, she called you corny, but you Michael B. Jordan. You know what I'm saying? Like, why are you still holding on to that? Maybe Michael B. Jordan needs a little bit of healing on his side of things as well. And shout out to Michael B. Jordan, because I know people take it as if maybe I got something against him or something, just because I sometimes clown on the way he pronounces stuff, which is kind of corny on my behalf. It's like, so what if he calls it Shippuden? So what? You know what I'm saying? Do I own Naruto Shippuden? So what? He calls it Shippuden. He probably does watch it. I've heard that he's voice acting some anime. He constantly stays in the realm. I don't see why he would be in the realm of talking about anime and manga if he doesn't like it. He mispronounces stuff. That was corny on my behalf. It's okay to be corny. Maybe that's the message of this video. Let me know what you think, though. Your thoughts on this Michael B. Jordan, L'Oreal situation. Did I invoke any thought, provoke anything in your mind to make you think like maybe a little bit different? Yeah, one more time for the one time. It's okay to be yourself, and if that's corny, it's okay to be corny. Have an awesome one. Peace in.